Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Disney has lost the next generation. Now, boys and girls, this has probably been pretty apparent to a lot of people out there, concerning the fact that there are a lot of their children's stories that they've been producing on their Disney Plus channel, and a lot of that kind of stuff just doesn't sit very well with a lot of families out there, and a lot of people are tuning it out. And honestly, even if it wasn't for all of the agenda-driven nonsense that Disney constantly shoves into all of their storytelling, it honestly is just a lot of bad, boring stuff that nobody really wants to watch. I mean, literally, time and time again, Bluey, of all things, something that is actually produced by an Australian company, not something that's done in-house by the House of Mouse, is their #1 show week after week, boys and girls. That's the only thing anyone is tuning into Disney for. And now it's official, boys and girls. YouTube is the #1 most watched in the Nielsen media distribution gauge for the first time, and it has whooped Disney's rear end, and it's exactly what they deserve, boys and girls. So this is what we've got right over here from TheWrap.com. School-aged viewers, i.e. the next generation, push YouTube ahead of Disney in Nielsen's media distribution gauge for the first time. Yes, boys and girls, the Walt Disney Company, the thing that so many of our childhoods were grown up on, is now lost the next generation. And me personally, I think that's absolutely hilarious and well-deserved considering what they've been doing over the last few years. So we're going to check out this article from TheWrap.com, getting all of the juicy details of exactly how much they have lost by and whether or not this trend will continue. It will. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, because boys and girls, we are grinding, we are growing, we're inching closer and closer to 1,300, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. Let us know, does this surprise you at all? Do you, like so many people out there, watch more YouTube than you do terrestrial television? Let us know, does this surprise you at all? Does this surprise you at all if you have kids? Let us know what you think about all that in the comment section down below. So NBC Universal holds steady in third with a boost from the Paris Olympics. That ain't gonna last. While Fox moves to fifth following a bump from the Republican National Convention. Once again, that ain't gonna last either. YouTube has pulled ahead of the Walt Disney Company to claim the top spot in Nielsen's media distributor gauge for July. Time spent watching YouTube was up 7% compared to June, resulting in a record total share of 10.4% of TV usage. The increase was driven largely by seasonality and school-aged viewers, P2 to 17, who accounted for nearly 30% of YouTuber viewership for July and 13% of TV viewership overall, the largest usage total for the age demographic since July 2023. And why wouldn't it be? YouTube's more accessible and is on more devices than Disney is as well. Not to mention, there's nothing on. I mean, like literally the only thing my kids would watch on Disney Plus would be like Gravity Falls. Like literally, like there's nothing else they're interested in on there at all. My daughter likes Bluey, but she can watch most of that on YouTube, right? There's full episodes of Bluey on YouTube. You know, so why would you bother going to Disney Plus? Also paying for it. YouTube's essentially free. You know, you can pay for the no ads, but the ads, I mean, unless you get one of the crazy ones, it's like 7 minutes long or something. More often than not, the ads aren't that bad. And guess what? With Disney, you're getting ads now and still having to pay for it every month. Like, they're off the reservation. Not to mention, all of their shows are abysmal failures. We know The Acolyte's been canceled, right? And that's something that would be geared towards this same age group, right? We're not just talking about little kids. We're talking about teenagers. We're talking about, you know, young adults. Well, young adults, 17, you know, almost 18, almost an adult, right? But all these school-age kids, these are the next generation. These are the ones that are coming up. Remember how we talk about they've lost a generation with what Disney has done to Star Wars, what Disney has done to Pixar, what Disney has done to so many of these other places? It's literally the exact same thing right here. This is what happens when you lose a generation. And the real question is, will Disney ever be able to get it back? Probably not. Just like what Bud Light lost a massive amount of their scale with everything that they did and the backlash that caused that. This is the exact same kind of thing. This is showing generational damage to the Walt Disney Company. Because guess what? Parents aren't sitting their kids in front of the Disney Channel anymore. Parents aren't doing this kind of stuff. This is what's going on now. So if the parents have checked out, which is pretty apparent by the box office and the viewing numbers, they're not going to let their kids watch this stuff either. And even the kids that do have a choice clearly are choosing YouTube. And why wouldn't they? It's insane. In comparison, the House of Mouse shares slipped to 9.9%, a 0.9 decline from June. However, year-to-date totals show that Disney leads all media distributions with 11% of TV viewing through 7 months, followed by YouTube at 9.6% and NBC Universal at 9.1%. But you also have to think about that as well with the Walt Disney Company, right? They overall, right? They own ESPN, okay? Disney owns ESPN, one of the most watched things for all of you sports fanatics out there, okay? And even with ESPN's viewership lowering, right, it's still a dominant market cap. Think about this. In order for Walt Disney Company to get any kind of dominance in these ratings, in these charts, and the overall grab, they have Hulu, ESPN, all their broadcasting channels, all of this kind of stuff. They own more broadcasting and delivery methods to bring you entertainment literally than anyone else out there. That's why they are consistently the dominating factor in these kind of ratings out there. Think about that. Even with everything Disney's got, YouTube still beat them. And YouTube's one platform when Disney has a bunch. That's insane. That's showing you how much of a devastating blow this really is. If you just look at the numbers, it doesn't look too bad. It looks like Disney's still on top. But when you think about it for a second and you think about that everything that the Walt Disney Company currently owns and distributes under, including a lot of their Fox brands and everything else that they own now, that is devastating, boys and girls. The milestone, which comes 4 months after the measurement firm launched the new tracker in April, is the first time a streaming platform has ranked first in media distributor gauge, and it's the first time a streamer has exceeded 10% of total TV usage in a given month. In addition to an increase in viewing from children, TV viewing in July was also boosted by the Summer Olympics, the Republican National Convention, yada, yada, yada. They just go on to talk about the rest of the numbers, Warner Brothers Discovery, and everybody else, which is not really what we're concerned about. That's not really what we're concerned about. That's not really what we're worried about. It's just an overall rating system showing that everybody's stuff is boosted because of summer. Well, yeah, that's what's going to happen. But boys and girls, all of you out there, all of you who watch YouTube, all of you who are involved in all of this kind of stuff, whether you make content, whether you watch, whether you like, whether you support, whatever it is out there, you guys have helped YouTube beat Disney. And of course, we've got all kinds of issues with YouTube. God knows I do. But at the end of the day, that shows you that Disney has lost and that Disney is continuing to lose. They are losing the next generation. Can they repair some of that by making good Marvel? Yes. But Star Wars is a dead brand. And we're going to get confirmation of that when the Mando and Grogu movie come out, right? Because it's going to lose money. I would almost put my dollar on that one, that it's going to lose money. Pixar, they're trying to swing things around, but they're not coming up with anything new. It's all reboots, remakes, sequels, live actions for the Walt Disney Company. Like, this shows you how much they have lost. They are losing the next generation. And if you lose the next generation, you are toast. You are legitimately toast. Can Disney turn it around? Probably not. Once burned, twice shy exists for a reason. And a lot of people out there have absolutely been burned by the Walt Disney Company over the years for everything they've done to some of our most beloved franchises out there. All for the sake of an agenda. Well, that agenda doesn't pay the bills. That agenda, those virtue signal bucks, don't cover salaries. They don't cover advertising. And now you've got a platform that offers up way more content completely and totally free of charge, has now beaten the multi-billion-dollar legacy corporation that is the Walt Disney Company. Boys and girls, that's a victory. The pendulum is swinging back, and we are winning. And guess what? That pendulum just smacked the Walt Disney Company in the face. It's exactly what they deserve. After all, they did it to themselves.